Okay, just got back from my walk, and had a really crazy day yesterday. It was really crazy. Um, a lot happened. A lot of which I'm probably not gonna say on this video, but let's just say some good things, some really good things happened, and some not so convenient things happened, and I had a good day in spite of all that. So I learned the biggest lesson is a lot of it was my attitude, but I also learned it's how you deal with things and how you bounce back that's really going to make a day, how it turns out. Because I had a bit of a day that was like Murphy's Law, and I recognized that there were some things that I wanted that could have happened, um, but the things that I thought I wanted weren't what I wanted necessarily in the way they happened. And so I think maybe it's not necessarily I think maybe you have to get what you get, because I don't necessarily feel great about everything that happened, but I don't necessarily have regret, or I don't have any reason to regret, mainly because of the consequences of what I have and what I have to deal with as a result of that. But it was more just like something happened, I'm like, all right, that's not the way to go, right? And the pain I'm feeling is because there's a conflict of values in my actions. And so that was educating. And I'm also learning more and more about my value and recognizing that, okay, if this is what I value, then my behavior needs to kind of be in line with that, right? And I'm learning more and more what that feels like and what that looks like and getting that in line. And I think sometimes what's crazy is that our desires aren't in line with our values. And so that's something that I'm starting to see as something to look at, because sometimes you can want something that is completely contradictory to what you prioritize, right? And then you ask, well, why do I want this thing? And sometimes it's just an appetite or a vision of something that you think, or something that's very temporary, but it intersects or doesn't, or at the very least, maybe doesn't add to your long-term goals and your vision. And, can compromise it. And so I'm appreciative for the, the things that have happened, because that kind of helped me recognize that, okay, so this is something that I value. Anyway, so yeah, getting in line with the values. The cool story, I guess, was while I was working yesterday, I bumped into this really super rude old dude. And he's a curmudgeon, apparently, and the whole cul-de-sac where he was living, a lot of people, he is very notorious for being just like a pain in the ass. Like, just someone that a lot of people didn't really like, right? And so he comes out, has a lot of attitude, was super rude to me. And I kind of call him out on not having any common courtesy. And I wanted to kind of point it out because, he was this like old white dude. And I would always thought, like, you were probably taught how to have manners back in your day, right? Would your mom be? But I was like, yeah, I don't know if I should use his race and his age like that, because that's not really cool. But I'm not gonna lie, it came to my mind, but I didn't say anything. I just kind of called him out on having common courtesy and how to treat other human beings, and that he should, try and just not do that. So I called him out on that. I was pretty frank with him. So I'm walking away, and these kids, right? These three girls, um, they come up to me, and they're like, "Hey, we heard what happened, right?" And these girls, they're like probably from 5 to 9 years old, right? Yeah, I think the smallest one was Lana. She said her name when she was 5. Lexa was the 7-year-old, and the 9-year-old was Taya or something like that. And they're like, "Hey man, we're really sorry about that old man." And they gave me this rock. Here, actually, let me show you. They gave me this rock that they found. They thought it was shiny and it's cute, and they thought it would, cheer me up. Which tells you about their love language, right? That's gift giving for sure. Gary Chapman. Um, and yeah, and they were just really sympathetic and kind. And, they just sort of talked with me about what happened, and they said that, well, they don't think I'm a bad person, and that they feel for me. And I just realized in that moment, like, hey, um, even though this really kind of crappy thing happened, I was just kind of putting it behind me. And, I don't think anything against the guy. I actually kind of pity him. And, I guess this reinforcement, by like this perfect demographic kind of showing me like, hey, God's around. He sees what you're going through. This is what's up. It just was really good. I'm not going to lie. I had a really good day yesterday. I had a bit of an accident with some things, and there was some rough stuff. Something else, a couple other things, but, some good came out of that too. It's funny, so I'm going to be rewriting a chapter in my book right after this. I spent an hour and a half writing yesterday, and right after I finished it, I kid you not, I finished the chapter, like the section that I'd finished, the scene. I went over to my timeline, and then my computer crashed. It was crazy, and my computer doesn't crash, right? Not normally, at least. So it crashes, and so all the data wasn't saved, so it just gone. And I was like, no. But I don't know. I got over it because I recognized that the important thing was that I wrote, right? That I wrote what I wrote. And the scene, it's only gotten better in my head. So instead of having to edit it, I'll just have to rewrite it and turn it out better. So, yeah. Anyway, that's like day 80, version 2 in the books. March 21st. Life's good, guys. Keep it real and stay happy and stay healthy.